all the ball games. What has to happen in order for you all to actually win the division in a very competitive SWAC East?
Well, the biggest thing is, like I tell the guys, no matter what the prediction is, if you pick fifth in the conference, so you still got to come out every day on Saturday and play hard-nosed football and compete on Saturday, and understand what it takes to get back to that championship game. It's hard work and dedication, and I think the guys understand that and made up for the challenges with that. We practice hard every day, and the kids are very enthused about it, and just having a good time right now and enjoying the moment, But, like I said, you got to kind of practice ready to play every day. And then on Saturday, you got to put forth effort every Saturday. So, make sure you're doing all the right things, executing our alignments and assignments.
This is the HBCU Report, being heard via Spreaker.com. We are powered by sportsnewsandbrews.com. Now, before I let you go, Coach, I always talk about on this show, people have asked me, like, what made me create this show or why do I go so hard for HBCUs other than the fact that I went to a HBCU, my parents went to a HBCU. But I always, tell them that, it's certain guys that are the reason that I am who I am and I do what I do. I always talk about Coach Eddie Robinson, who I had the chance to meet when I was in the 11th grade. He came to our high school and spoke at our high school. I had the opportunity, my uncle, my late uncle, Elliot Freeman, played for Jake Gaither down in Florida A&M. So he gave me a lot of stories about Jake Gaither when I was growing up. And then, one of the names that I have to mention is your brother. When I was in high school, I went to high school at Southwest DeKalb High School in Decatur, Georgia. We had this guy, the quarterback, Quincy Carter. No, you know who Quincy is. But when we were in high school, me and Quincy used to go back and forth about Steve McNair. Because Steve, at the time that we were in high school, this dude was lighting it up. He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. He brought the SWAC to the world. So I always throw his name in there. It's like, if it hadn't been for him, I might not even went to a SWAC school, even though full disclosure, I was in the band. Okay. I didn't play football, but it gave me exposure to the SWAC because I had no idea about certain schools in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. But in your opinion, and I know you might be kind of biased, when we talk about college athletes, usually when it's a HBCU athlete or a guy that went to a PWI, we always like to say, oh, well, this guy was the greatest HBCU quarterback, or this guy was the greatest big-time quarterback. In your opinion, for everything that your brother did at Alcorn State University, leading the Tennessee Titans to the Super Bowl, all the great things that he did, where does he rank, in your honest opinion? Where does he rank amongst all quarterbacks, not just HBCU or black, but just all quarterbacks?
Well, I just to speak on him, and he's a great quarterback. I think, HBCU, I wouldn't care if he went to an institution at all. I mean, he would have still performed the same. But he chose Alcorn. I think it was a great idea for him and a great institution for him to be at. And but just being ranked, he's ranked among the highest quarterbacks. Man. I tell you, he was a phenomenal athlete, a phenomenal quarterback, and when he stepped on the field, he gave it all. I don't see many quarterbacks that go out and compete like him these days now. So he was a tough guy and did what he do on the field. And, he's amongst the highest guys. Man. I tell you, he's on there with Brett Favre and all those guys, man. And I know Brett. He's a heck of a player too. But I think Steve is standing toe to toe with him on battles. In those situations. You talk about the Aaron Rodgers days now. And so he's a competitor, man. And he's amongst those guys. And I think he's one of the top guys that don't play the sport now.
Absolutely. Well, we miss him, bro. We all miss him. Everybody, we all miss him. Coming up this Sunday, ESPN, 1 o'clock kickoff, the MEAC-SWAC Challenge. Fred McNair, first-year head football coach of the Alcorn State University Braves, taking on the Bethune Cookman Wildcats. It is the battle at the beach. Coach, good luck this weekend, and we will definitely be tuned in. And we look forward to talking to you down the road this season right here on the HBCU Report.
All right. Thank you, man.
All right. Great stuff right there from Coach McNair. Wish that guy nothing but the best over at Alcorn State. Now, coming up on the other side, we will be talking to the man that'll be standing across the sidelines from Coach McNair, talking about the reigning MEAC Coach of the Year, Terry Sims of Bethune-Cookman. He's next right here on the HBCU Report, being heard via Spreaker.com, and we are powered by sportsnewsandbrews.com.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
From Clark Atlanta to Morehouse to Spelman, it's the HBCU Report with Rob Calloway.
This is the HBCU Report being heard via Spreaker.com. We are powered by SportsNewsandBrews.com for the latest in sports, black news, political news, and the latest on your favorite craft beers. Check us out, SportsNewsandBrews.com. All right, we got a great one coming up. Tomorrow, Sunday, 1 o'clock kickoff on ESPN. It is the MEAC-SWAC Challenge. You've got Alcorn State, the reigning SWAC champions, versus Bethune Cookman, the reigning MEAC champions, or one of those teams that won a portion of the MEAC, if you will. And so right now we are being joined on the line by the reigning MEAC Coach of the Year, second-year head coach of the Bethune Cookman Wildcats. Mr. Terry Sims joins us on the line. First of all, Coach, welcome back to the HBCU Report.
Thank you for having me.
So let me just go ahead and ask, how did you feel when you heard that you had won the MEAC Coach of the Year in just your first year there?
It was a unbelievable, very humbling experience. It wasn't just me by myself. I had a great coaching staff helping me and an unbelievable group of student athletes that went out and played hard every week to help us, be successful last year.
Now, coming into this season, you guys are and all the polls are predicted to do really well this season. And, as a second-year head coach, just got to ask, what did you learn from last year that you're bringing into this year that's going to help you, sustain that level of success?
Well, we're going to continue to be as disciplined and detailed as possible in our preparation week in and week out. But I think the one thing that I learned was to step back a little bit and allow my coaches to work. I have a great coaching staff. Those guys work hard. I didn't know any other way last year. And I think, that's the one thing. If I say one thing that I learned is to step back, take a step back, and not be able to put my hand in everything. Still be aware of what's going on, but not have an active role in everything that's going on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Bethune Cookman has had a lot of success. You go back the past 6-7 seasons. You guys have either won the conference or won a share of the conference. I think 3 out of the last 4 and 5 out of the last 6 years, you all have been tops in the MEAC. What is the secret to the success down there in Daytona?
I don't think it is a secret. It's just hard work.
Absolutely.
I'll say again, we have an outstanding board of trustees, our president, and our vice president for athletics, Lynn Thompson. They give us what we need to work. And I think that's the main part, having an administration that understands, and then having a staff and a group of student athletes that don't know the meaning of quit. I think that's the recipe to success.
And that Florida speed doesn't hurt either, does it?
No, it doesn't hurt at all.
Absolutely. All right. So, who are some of the guys that you all have returning on the offensive side of the ball that MEAC fans need to be on the lookout for?
Well, everybody's talking about him, and a lot of folks are excited to see what's going to happen on Sunday. But Larry Brim is going to be back, and he's doing the necessary things he needs to do to be the guy. We have not named a starter yet, but by far he has the most game experience, so definitely look out for him. Jaquan Loomis, tight end. And we also have a host of receivers that can go out and get the job done. So as people watch our games, they can look for Jawil Davis, Jamie Wilson,
Travaris Copeland, on down the line. We have a number of guys, Frank Brown. All those guys can actually line up and play for us in a number of different spots. So on that side of the ball, those are the skill guys. But we also have Philip Norman, who's back on the offensive line, Dazzy Mars, and Trevin Huff. Those guys all started for us the last 2 years. So we have some guys up front, and that's where it all starts. Anyone who understands football understands it starts there. And we have some veterans up front that are leading our guys, and we're going to plug those 2 holes with 2 junior college transfers, the other 2 spots, and keep this thing rolling. And on defense, we have, again, Trenton Bridges coming back, who's going to be the quarterback of our defense, Arthur Williams and Daquan Richardson at the safeties. And we also have DeMarcus Womack and Jamal Thomas inside, along with Todney Evans and Kevin Thompson at the defensive ends. So we have some guys from a defense that we had to totally rebuild last year that are back now, and those guys have been playing together for a year. So I'm excited to see what happens on Sunday.
Absolutely. This is the HBCU Report, being heard via Spreaker.com. We are powered by SportsNewsAndBrews.com. On the line with us right now, Terry Sims, the reigning MEAC Coach of the Year. His Bethune Cookman Wildcats take on Fred McNair's Alcorn State University Braves this Sunday, 1 o'clock kickoff on ESPN. It is the MEAC-SWAC Challenge. Now, you guys are going to be playing this thing in your backyard, man. How big is that?
It's huge to have a game of this caliber here at home and, be able to play in front of our home fans and have the student body be able to come out and watch us play. It's going to be an unbelievable atmosphere. Yeah. And, we have a group of the greatest fans in the country. And to have our student athletes on both sides of the ball and at both universities, at Bethune Cookman and Alcorn, to have these young guys be able to display their talents, on a national stage like this, it's a great experience. And it's a very, very, very deserving opportunity for both teams.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you talk about the landscape of HBCU football now, at the top of the list is the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl. Both conferences, SWAC and MEAC, now really have something to play for other than a conference championship. You guys, as I mentioned before, won a part of the MEAC, but weren't able to get into that bowl game. How disappointing was it to find yourselves on the outside looking in, even though you won a portion of that championship?
You would bring that up, huh?
I got to, man. I got John Grant coming up, man. I got to.
Well, yeah, it was disappointing, and I think more than anything, I was disappointed, but I was hurt for our guys because they played their tails off week in and week out. So I think that was the most disheartening part of it, to watch them have to suffer and go through not being able to play after putting on a show like they did last season.
This is the HBCU Report, being heard via Spreaker.com. We are powered by SportsNewsAndBrews.com. Terry Sims, head football coach of the Bethune Cookman Wildcats, joins us on the show right now. The Wildcats taking on the Braves of Alcorn State University, the MEAC-SWAC Challenge, Sunday, 1 o'clock kickoff on ESPN. Now, Coach, we got to continue this conversation because this thing, I know you've heard this from Wildcat fans. I know you've heard this from just MEAC football fans, but man, I know the conference has an uneven number of football teams. I understand that being a setback or why there's no MEAC championship. But I mean, come on, man. The MEAC it's time, right? It's time to be able to have an outright champion. What do you think?
You're trying to get me in all kind of trouble with my boss and with the commissioner.
No.
Well, I'll tell you this. I think it is something that's on the horizon in the near future. Dr. Thomas is working hard, trying to make that happen. Those are things that are discussed, often. And when it's time, I'm sure he'll step up and let us know that it's time to do that. I would love it. Personally, but we just have to roll with the punches right now and take it the way